Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? Welcome back to Jets Media. This is Richie. In this video, I want to talk about who the Jets could target tonight at pick number 34. I am sitting in the same exact spot where I was live streaming all last night, and I'll be live streaming tonight as well. So, guys, if you guys did not know, I'll be live throughout the entire draft. So make sure you guys stay tuned. I'll be going live around 6:30, 7 o'clock. But in this video, I want to talk about the potential targets at 34 and what the Jets could be doing tonight. As we know, we traded our 2 third-round picks to move up in the draft to secure Elijah Vera-Tucker, which Jets fans, including myself, are jubilant about. If you guys missed my recap of the first round, check that video out on my channel. So let's get right into it, guys. So as we know, there's a lot of players still available on the board, and there's a good opportunity for the Jets to trade down. So that's the first thing we should talk about. Should the New York Jets trade down from 34 and acquire those capital that we gave up to move up to get AVT? That's going to be a really interesting topic. Or do they love the players on the board, such as Tevin Jenkins, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, Asante Samuel Jr., Javonte Williams? There's a lot of players available at 34. And Joe Douglas could be saying, hey, we like a lot of players on the board where if we can move back, get an extra third-round pick, one of those picks that we gave up initially to get AVT, then we might be doing that. Because if you guys remember, last year, Joe Douglas traded down 9 or so picks in the second round and still got Denzel Mims, and he acquired an extra third-round pick. So that's the first discussion. What do you guys think? Should the Jets stay put at 34, draft Tevin Jenkins or Creed Humphrey to fortify that offensive line and double down? Or should they stay put at 34 and draft the versatile linebacker that somehow slipped out of the first round and Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah out of Notre Dame? That is what I'm leaning towards, guys. And it's going to be really hard for them to mess it up because there's so many names that I love. So, you know, I don't even know who I'm going to tell you guys who I want the most because it's really even-keeled. If we get Tevin Jenkins, I'm hype. If they get Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, I'm hype. If they get Creed Humphrey, I'm hype. If they get Asante Samuel, I can agree with that because he's a stud and we need a cornerback desperately. So first, let's start off with Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah out of Notre Dame. This man I had on the target for the Jets potentially drafting at number 23. I did not think that he would go, not in the first round at all. So here we are. I don't think that the Jaguars will take him, and then we pick right behind the Jaguars at 34. This is a Swiss Army knife type of player. He's a versatile linebacker that is going to fill right in with that will. And I feel like this is a guy that can, play good defense in terms of zone. He can drop back in coverage. He can blitz efficiently. He's very fast. He's a speed-oriented linebacker, and we know how important the front seven is in a Rob Saleh type of 4-3 defense, and we have the defensive line fortified. Now let's get a stud in that linebacker, pair him up with CJ Mosley, and we got a really unique type of linebacker group with Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. I'm all in. If we draft him, I will be very excited. So that's the first prospect we will look at. The next one I want to talk about is Tevin Jenkins. Tevin Jenkins is a guy that has played right tackle and right guard all throughout his time in college. He's versatile, similar to Elijah Vera-Tucker. Elijah Vera-Tucker, as we know, he started off his career at left guard, and then they thought he was so good, so they plugged him in at left tackle, and that's why we love him, because he's versatile. I would not put it past Joe Douglas if he wants to secure this offensive line. Get Tevin Jenkins. He can be our right guard for now, and then when George Fant leaves in the future, he can be our future right tackle. So if Tevin Jenkins is the pick, I'm excited because this is a guy that is one of the best pass protectors in the draft, and I'm shocked that he slid out of the first round. I knew it was possible, but I did expect him to go late in the first, but here we are. He's available at 34 possibly if the Jaguars are not going to take him, which I don't think they will. And I will be all over. I will be so happy if we get Tevin Jenkins. That means that Joe Douglas is really prioritizing this offensive line first. We need to build a wall in front of Zach Wilson. We know at BYU, Zach Wilson was a player that was protected. He had a lot of good protection, and he rarely got sacked, rarely got pressured. So let's make sure that Zach Wilson is comfortable back there. And obviously, we need to make sure that we have a dominant run game, and that all starts at the line of scrimmage. We see that Joe Douglas values this offensive line. We know this. He's a former offensive lineman. He traded up draft capital to secure Elijah Vera-Tucker. So if he wants to get Tevin Jenkins and really show that the New York Jets are fortifying this offensive line and building it through the draft, I'm all for it. And that segues perfectly into Creed Humphrey. Creed Humphrey is the best center in the draft, in my opinion. I know some people are also high on Dickerson. I think you can go either way. Creed Humphrey is a guy that would be a very good pass protecting center. I know some people say he's not the best run blocking center, but I would prefer to have a pass blocking center and a guy that can fortify the offensive line, be the communicator in the middle, and put everybody together. Can you imagine Mekhi Becton, Elijah Vera-Tucker, and Creed Humphrey next to to each other for the future, sign me up. So guys, there's a lot of players available. The next one let's talk about is Asante Samuel Jr. This is a very good cornerback that slid out of the first round. He's definitely a first round talent, and we know that we have a big hole in the cornerback position group. So if they go with Asante Samuel Jr., I'm all for it. I feel like that would be a very smart decision because right now the cornerback depth chart, it's looking pretty thin. We got Bryce Hall, former 5th round pick last year. We got Bless Austin, Jalvin Guidry, Lamar Jackson, and some of these guys that we're looking at like, okay, they have some upside, they have some potential, but they've not proved anything in the league. So we don't have any veterans that we brought in free agency, so we know that they're going to draft a cornerback. We just don't know if it's going to be at 34 or later on in the draft. So if it's Asante Samuel Jr., I'm all for it. And another player let's talk about is Javonte Williams. I know this is a very big topic for Jets fans. Some people want to draft a running back, some people don't. Some people wanted to get Etienne or Harris if they fell to 34, but as we know, they both went in the first round. Harris went to Pittsburgh and Etienne went to Jacksonville, reuniting with Trevor Lawrence. So if the Jets want to get a playmaker in Javonte Williams, then 34 is definitely the opportunity to do so because I think he's not getting past Miami. I don't think he might get past the Falcons. We'll see where he ends up. Me personally, I'd rather go offensive line before we worry about the running back position. I'm totally okay with the running back group we have right now, especially if we go later on in the draft and get a guy like a Jarrett Patterson or Chuba Hubbard or Trey Sermon. You never know what we can do in the 4th round. But me personally, I know a lot of Jets fans want Javonte Williams because he would be an elite back next to Zach Wilson and they can build that chemistry together. But I feel like there's way more holes in the premier positions like offensive line, cornerback, and linebacker. So that's where I'm at. Those are some players that I'm thinking of. There's definitely a lot of players available that I did not even mention that the Jets could target. And again, we could trade back and acquire more capital if we really wanted to because we traded up from 23 to 14. We gave up 2 of our 3rd round picks and we got a 4th round in return. So if Joe Douglas wants to be an evil genius like he is and wants to trade back from 34, acquire an extra 3rd round pick, and then we're sitting with 10 picks just like we came into the draft and we did not really give up anything for AVT. So that's interesting. There's a lot of different avenues that Joe Douglas and the New York Jets can go. My gut is telling me it's either one of Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah or Tevin Jenkins. Those are my top 2 guys. If it's one of those 2, I am very excited. Leave a comment down below. Who do you guys want tonight? Do you guys want Joke out of Notre Dame? Do you guys want Tevin Jenkins? Is it Creed Humphrey? Asante Samuel? Is it somebody I didn't even mention? Is it Javonte Williams? Again, Elijah Moore is still out there as well. I didn't even mention him. If they want to go playmaker, he is a wide receiver that is electric, and he slid out of the first round. So that's another player that I forgot to mention. So let me know down below, which guys do you guys want? Do you want the Jets to trade down or stay put at 34 and draft a player that will be an immediate starter? And hey, these guys are first-round talents. Like Tevin Jenkins, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, these are first-round guys that are sliding past the first round, and we can potentially get them at 34. So please let me know down below. We got 5 or so hours until the draft kicks off tonight with round 2, round 3. I will be live throughout the entire thing, so stay tuned for that tonight. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up button if you guys enjoyed, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Let's go Jets, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace out, guys.